like a lightning bolt. You feel the ground pounding, that might be the coast. Quick like a joke, like the hit when provoked. Don't you doubt that. That's a Jaguar to a house cat. That's an outcast to a whole squadron. If you talking Houston, then we've got a problem. You'll probably get the horns if you mess with the cattle. Sit back in your saddle and get ready for the fan battle.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Happy Sunday. Happy free agency. We thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, it's off season, so things are a little slim thick around here. People don't like to be talking too much trash on the live feed. So do us a favor and like and share and comment. Comment your opinion, because just because it's the off season doesn't mean there isn't things happening. It's been a pretty crazy week in free agency. Yes? No?
Yeah.
Correct.
I only see the top of all of y'all's heads.
NFL. Sorry,
Not for my
sharing.
team. My team's actually good. We don't need to win the offseason like the rest of the clowns in the division. So.
It's much different, right?
Your team's only good because they played in this clown division.
Got him.
I can only they can only play the schedule that they put in front of them, right? What do you want from me?
That's not what I heard at the beginning of last season. Things definitely turned around, but hey, we all make mistakes, right?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's for sure.
Your team, Josh, not to be biased, but your team messed up and did really well. So, shout out to the Jaguars, right?
Woo-woo.
Well, we'll wait for a few more people to log on and get this ball rolling. If you're watching this, give us a little comment, because we always wait for a comment to come in to start. For those of you watching, depending on where you're watching from, just so you know, we stream on multiple different platforms. So no matter which platform you're on, whether it's Twitch or Twitter or YouTube or the private group on AFC South Fan Battle or the podcast page or whatever, heart this post, give us a comment. We got our first one, Jimmy Chestnut. He says tighten up. Of course, it had to be a Titans fan off the rip.
What is this profile pic from Jimmy?
Bro, get that off our screen.
He looks like he's tightening up.
That is a Titans fan if I've ever seen one.
Seriously, this guy.
Hey, you got to show love for the Titans, man.
No, we don't actually. We got to do the exact.
This is AFC South Fan Battle. Only one showing love for the Titans is you, sir.
Yes, and that is my job.
All right, let's get this party started. Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the AFC South Fan Battle podcast. My name is Samantha Burnett. Welcome to Free Agency 2023. Things have kicked off, and it's been crazy, and it's a lot to keep up with, and every day there's something new. Everybody's been waiting to see what Aaron Rodgers was going to do, and I mean, even though he's kind of said what he's going to do, it's not official, so even that's still a waiting game. But there have been a lot of moves within the AFC South, and we'll get to that. So without further ado, let me introduce our commentators for this evening. Representing the Jaguars, we have the second best Josh Allen.
Oh, we've been through this. He's in Kentucky right now, the first best. Now I'm the first best Josh Allen.
He's crying right now because they just got beat. So
Boy, R.I.P. to everyone's brackets.
right, yeah.
Seriously, Jesus Christ.
Representing the Texans, we have Matt Briggs.
What it do?
Representing the Colts, we have Harish Nukala.
Hello.
And representing the Titans, we have a new commentator this evening that hasn't been on with us before. So I'm going to let him introduce himself and tell us where he is from.
What's up? My name is Max, and I'm from a little town outside of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Nice. And Titans fan through and through, obviously. So
yes,
glad to have you on with us. Like we said in pre-production, it's hard to get Titans fans on here. When they're winning, it's easy, but otherwise it's pretty tough. So I'm happy that you actually joined in with us this evening to chat about free agency. So
yeah, it's not that Titans fans are cowards. It's just that they're not cowards.
I was going to say, I mean, it's hard to get them on whether they're winning or not.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, I've been a Titans fan through the 3 and 15 seasons, so let's go.
Well,
All right, fair enough.
Josh Allen's here and he's a Jaguars fan, and he always will be here if we don't have somebody. So
I'm a glutton for punishment. What can I say?
Yeah, yeah.
he's a masochist.
And I'm the only Texans fan to come on the show. So
We had Chris Royal come on twice.
Chris Royal.
Yeah.
We don't know if you're the only Texans fan because you want to be or because there's nobody else that wants to come.
He beats up anyone else who wants to come.
I don't blame
I'll
him.
take my spot.
Gatekeeping.
VT, if you're listening, we need you to do some arm wrestling or some rock paper scissors.
No, what's that new thing?
BT, if you feel like you're in danger from Matt, just contact me directly.
Blink 3 times.
blink twice. Speaking of BT. Speaking of BT,
slap boxing, that's what they have now. Is that
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Have y'all seen that?
Yeah.
They do like the slap. They slap the shit out of each other. That's awesome.
It's pretty
Yep.
amazing.
We actually have a comment that came in from VT. He said our GM might have been partying with Jim Irsay before we traded Cooks. Irsay brought the blow, but forgot the hookers. Shame. And of course,
He's
we got
right.
Chris Norton commenting in the chat. Always Harish. I don't know what that means, but yes.
I'm the only Colts fan that ever matters. That's what he meant.
well, yeah, I'm glad you brought up the Colts fans. We want to give out our thoughts and prayers to our Colts commentator, Josh Senior. He lost his grandfather, so prayers to you.
Yes.
I hope good thoughts and vibes to you, bro.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
it sucks. Hate to hear it.
Yes.
Sorry to hear it, man.
Well, listen. Like I said, oh, here we go. Robbie Tarter. Calvin Ridley is going to wreck the AFC South.
You're darn
Yes, yes, he is. Man.
Not if he bets on him first.
Listen, we're gonna break that down. We're gonna break that down when we get into the Jaguars segment because I'm assuming you read his letter that he did.
Yeah.
And we need to talk about that. That was
Has he officially
I
been
tear.
reinstated?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
And when he got reinstated, he issued a letter to the league basically, and it was very heartfelt. I kind of teared up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, let's talk about NFL news first. So, Aaron Rodgers. We talked about it a little bit at the beginning. Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. I got a bunch of question marks next to my production paperwork because he came out, went on the Pat McAfee show. Shout out to Pat McAfee. Still hanging in our DMs if you're listening.
Are we getting close to 500 days?
485.
If you're listening, you bastard. 400 days ago, you wrote us and said, we gonna do this, and then you never wrote us back. How are you gonna ghost someone you didn't meet on Tinder, sir? Anyways, moving on. He went on Pat McAfee show and said, my plan or my intention or however he put it, I don't know verbatim, is to play for the Jets. But it's not official. So, they acted like this was groundbreaking news, but is it even news at this point? Like, okay. Like you came out of a darkness retreat and like, what are you waiting for the mushrooms to wear off or something? Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say, with the amount of drugs that he's doing, does he even understand that the things that are happening in reality, or does he just think it's some sort of like psychedelic fueled fantasy that he's living?
he's
in
like,
right now?
listen, I went in the Matrix and the Jets were good on mushrooms. And you're like,
After
In the
3 days
spoons,
of
bro.
time.
Yeah.
Like, in the spoons.
Aaron Rodgers, you definitely have done too many psychedelic drugs. The Jets will never be good, sir.
Never.
After sitting in darkness for so long, I thought flying to New York would be a great idea.
You figured the hatred he has for Brett Favre, like he would not. That was the
He's
team
following
he
the
would
same-
not.
I didn't
go to.
even
Here's
think
the
about
thing.
that, actually. Wow.
I think Aaron Rodgers hates everyone who's not Aaron Rodgers.
You got a point there, sir. You got
That's
a
actually
point.
pretty accurate. Yeah, he seems pretty self-centered in that manner.
I have a vetted interest in this because my father-in-law is a Green Bay fan. And so it's terrible because I have to tell him all the time how much they're terrible. But anyway, they have 31 years between Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers of Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and they've won 2 Super Bowls.
Oh, man, that sounds familiar. Like
Sounds like the Colts.
Right? Yeah.
Is that not a fail?
Yeah, that is a fail. I mean,
Uh,
only been to 3.
And besides that, Aaron Rodgers is a prima donna.
Well, I mean, the most news they've had is Brett Favre was sending out dick pics, and Aaron Rodgers does legal drugs. Other than that, what's
Well,
happening?
no, and Brett Favre was stealing tax money that was supposed to help children.
Oh
too.
yeah. I forgot that.
He's
Oh
stealing
yeah,
from the kids.
To open up a volleyball bar or some crap like that.
volleyball bar.
A beach
Yeah.
volleyball. Wasn't it beach
Yeah.
volleyball?
Yeah, something like that.
A volleyball bar. I want to know what that looks like. That sounds fun.
Give Brett a call.
Oh.
Hit up Brett
I'm
Favre on
about to
Twitter.
go hit up my kid's piggy bank and steal their money to open that
It's
up.
crazy though, Sam.
Shout
the
out
winner,
Kendall.
The winner of the tournaments that he hosts, he gets a free dick pic from Brett Favre.
Oh, well then, never mind. I don't want to go to that.
Yeah, no
Is
thanks.
that
I'm
paid
just
for
fine.
by? Is that paid for
Levi?
by the Mississippi money or?
Yeah, that's where he
Wait,
was taking it from.
You think Deshaun
Listen.
enters the tournaments every now and then?
Oh, Lord. Having been to the beaches in Mississippi recently, I can tell you any bar on a Mississippi beach is going to be terrible. It doesn't matter what the theme is. Like,
Beaches.
Yeah, I agree. I lived in Mississippi
go
for
for
a
it.
while.
Like,
It's
it's
pretty
not
bad.
good. It's just
Time,
bad.
Yeah.
time out. We need to do a needle check. We gotta clean the sand for needles. Hold on. guys.
Yeah, bring it.
One
You
second,
laugh,
one
but there was absolutely glass and dirt and like garbage in the sand and Gulf. And this was like the nice part of Gulfport.
Yeah.
Like it was.
There's a nice
but
part?
It was dirty.
Yeah,
I
no.
mean, yeah.
I
there-
mean, there's a
there-
nicer
there-
part.
Oh, okay, cool.
There's a
Imagine
less
it on
terrible.
TV. Now we have to take a media break to dig out the sand.
Well, listen. Moving on. Speaking of beaches, guess who's back in Florida?
Bette Midler.
Yo, your favorite player of all time, Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey is back. Not my favorite player, but Jalen Ramsey is back in Florida. So my biggest fear was that he was going to come to Jacksonville. Because not everybody, a lot of people were like, oh, bring Jalen back. And everyone's like, you'd be stupid to not want him. He's the best corner in the league and blah, blah, blah.
Getting burnt.
Is he though?
And, yeah.
Is he though?
He is the
Right.
best
I'm just
corner
saying,
getting
I'm just
burnt,
reading
like-
the arguments. I was so scared he would end up here. But he is in Miami. Let him have him. He already did the divaing in LA. Now he can do the divaing in Miami. Maybe eventually he'll go to New York. And he can do it,
At least it's
He
a
get-
Super Bowl now, so I guess his DVing is worth it.
I mean,
I don't know. Man. Ever since that Super Bowl, it seemed like Jamar Chase just took his soul, and he hasn't been, he
Yeah, good,
been,
Jamar.
been terrible, man.
Look,
think
I'm
the
not gonna
moment-
lie. I wanted Jamar Chase in the Titans, but now that we've got the guy from the Buccaneers coming in for the interview next week, I'm really excited about that, and I hope that works out. That's all I'm
Which
gonna
guy?
say.
Well, you know what's crazy though? Like it seems like the Titans had this Pro Bowler receiver
Yeah.
that like could take almost any team to the Super Bowl, and is trading them for an overweight, out of shape rookie. Like
Let's not talk about that.
Is that guy like cheeseburgers by any chance?
Cheeseburger.
Please, let's not talk about AJ Brown, please.
Hamburglar strikes again.
extra mayonnaise, please. Extra mayonnaise.
Please, let's talk about somebody else.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Well,
when y'all gonna trade him?
we'll talk about
Yeah,
Derrick
cool.
Henry getting traded.
yeah,
Yeah, we can talk about that all day.
All right,
the
listen.
Titans imploding.
One last NFL news. We'll break down our teams. So, Garoppolo was traded to the Raiders. So they basically traded out Derek Carr for Derek Garoppolo because it's the same.
They upgraded his looks, not necessarily his play on
Yeah,
the field.
they have a lot better looking of a quarterback now.
He's better looking. Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
exact quality of play.
They also got a new sponsor for the stadium.
Oh,
It's
yeah? Who's that?
that Bunny Ranch there in Las Vegas.
No,
Yeah.
stop.
Bunny
that-
Ranch.
Yeah, that hooker place, that hooker bar.
There's no way the
nice.
NFL would allow.
Is
that.
that true?
Yeah.
Hooker.
No, it's
I was
not.
like,
gonna say,
stop.
you got me there, man. I was like, wait, what?
Hold on.
No.
Let me go look this up. real quick.
I would
think
argue
it's
that
one
he's
person
just an
called,
older
but-
version of
When-
Derek Carr.
Yeah, I mean it's literally the same. So then Derek Carr went to the Saints. The Saints traded Andy Dalton to the Panthers. So there's been some I guess big Andy Dalton
But they retained
Why is he
Jameis
still here?
Winston.
why is he still here? Just retire.
Andy Dalton, look, man, Frank Reich all of a sudden leaves and he has GMs that basically does whatever he says. Let's be nice.
So
All I'm saying is that people like Andy Dalton prove the point that I've made many times. being a backup quarterback in the NFL is the easiest / best job in the world. Easy money.
Literally. Come in,
Prepare-
maybe play a few games here and there.
Preparing you for
You're not
your
expected to be any
career,
good.
you know?
So if you come in and lose, people are like, "Oh yeah, he's a backup. Of course he
Maybe
lost,
backup.
right?"
Yeah, no pressure.
That's
at
a good
all.
point, Josh.
But if he wins, it's like, sweet, now you can go get overpaid and suck again. And then do it all
like,
over again.
like Nick Foles.
Yeah,
Like
Nick
Gardner
Foles.
Minshew.
Like Gardner Minshew, yeah.
Like
Like
basically,
Malik Willis.
like basically any quarterback that's played for the Jaguars who then goes to win a Super Bowl ring with another team, including this year's Super Bowl, because no matter which team won, one of the Jaguars' backup quarterbacks was going to win a Super Bowl ring.
The Jaguars do a wonderful job of drafting backup quarterbacks.
Yes,
Awesome.
Excellent.
they do. And then
Best
they
initiative.
take them and they mold them into perfect little birds, and then they go on, go out into the
Go
Go
league,
suck somewhere else.
Fly, baby bird.
go get a ring, be free. So, okay, you know what? Let's start with that. Good segue. Jaguars.
Thank you.
So I mean, people are upset. There's some Jags fans that are upset with the Jags. They haven't done any big splashes like they did last year. They re-signed Wingard, re-signed Roy Robertson Harris, CJ Beathard. They franchise tagged Evan Ingram, Tavon Campbell, and Trey Herndon. This is what you see teams doing when they feel like they have the core in place. I think the big thing that people wanted them to go do apparently was get someone on the defensive line that would make a big splash. But I think, I think they're going to draft somebody. I think you're going to see them draft heavily defensive players to shore up the pass rush. But you got Calvin Ridley coming in. Marvin Jones Jr. is a free agent. I think you'll see him go elsewhere. I don't think they're going to bring him back. I think they're stacked on offense. You might see them draft an offensive tackle late because they lost Jawan Taylor. But I will just tell you, I am not of the same opinion as other people on Jawan Taylor. I don't think he's that good. I think the
Same.
Chiefs way overpaid for him. He found a cheat code. Now that the season's over, I will say the man found a cheat code where he's able to false start without getting called for false starting. You go back and watch his tape, bro is false starting all over the field, all the time. When Joey Bosa was so mad during that playoff game, like I wouldn't have thrown my helmet at the ground and
Right.
cussed out the referee, but
and
I would
call
have
a
said
racial
also,
slur.
right? But Jawan Taylor unlocked the cheat code, and more power to him. It has gotten him paid millions and millions of dollars for the Chiefs. But I can't wait until the league closes that loophole, because they will, and then he gets embarrassed on national TV, and I hope it leads to Patrick Mahomes getting sacked by the Jaguars in the playoffs next year and beating them finally. So
Two questions for you. How do you feel about Arden Key getting traded to an interdivision team, which is awful anyways?
Arden Key is the Gardner
And-
Minshew of defensive players. Hold your
Hold
second
on.
question.
No, oh, okay.
I'm not going to be able to remember it. Hold your second question. Arden Key is the Gardner Minshew of defensive players. Great personality, average talent. The dude had
I don't
four. He
disagree.
played every game. He had 4.5 sacks. I loved Arden Key's mentality. I loved his attitude. I loved his big boombox coming out to Lil Boozy set it off. I loved all of that. But it doesn't amount to a hill of beans if he doesn't help the team win on the field, right?
He
And there was
was
never a play where Arden Key made a huge impact. In fact, in the couple of plays where Rayshon Jenkins and other people are making plays, you can see Arden Key just gives up on the play, and he's like celebrating and dancing on the field instead of like looking to see if he needs to like throw a block when they're recovering a fumble. He was out of position a lot. I don't think that Arden Key is a big loss. People are upset about it. I like Arden Key. Seems like a good dude. But if you look at it objectively, if you take his name off of it and look at the numbers and the money he was asking for versus his production on the field, I'm okay with them letting him walk.
Which with
he
a
was
team
a
like
rotation.
with a team like this, where you have the potential to go somewhere, when somebody's not willing to restructure and wants money, you kind of already.
You
said
got to
your
back
piece.
it up, right? You got to back it up, right? If he had like 10 sacks or something wild, or even like 8-9 sacks, then I'd be looking like, hey, we didn't have many. Because the one weakness of the Jags team consistently throughout the year was the pass rush. They didn't do a whole lot in certain games. The pass rush disappeared. My namesake Josh Allen, he disappeared in long stretches of the season, not just games, right? Like there were games where he didn't have a big impact. So if he was a pass rusher that was making an impact, like Roy Robertson Harris was. Roy Robertson Harris had a couple of huge plays down the stretch. So
And
I'm
he
glad
got
that they
he got
picked him.
3 years, 30 million. Yeah.
Right. Andrew Wingard had more impactful plays, and I know
So
that
that
you
was
love-
gonna be my
uh,
second question. That was my second question. So I'll ask you before you go into that. Second question: do you feel like Andrew Wingard deserves the contract that he got? It was
to me that's a
3
base level.
years,
3 years, $9
$9.6
million. That's not that much.
9.6,
To
which
me,
is
in
10.
my opinion,
Which is 10. Well,
I mean, 3 years, $10 million. That's lower level of contracts, and it was front loaded with paid upfront incentives and then performance incentives. So it also has low impact, if I remember correctly. Like if they were to cut him next year or the year after, I think Andrew Wingard proved down the stretch that he can make an impact on games more so than someone like Arden Key. So
Well, he also brings a different type of culture, right? Like that stupid. It was always the Jaguars. Like, I mean, it helps out in a lot.
but it was always the Jaguars.
and say what you want about Wingard. I know some people don't like this always the Jags phrase, and I'll just tell you what I told people all season. The more you hate it,
I think it's great.
The more you hate it, the more we love it. It's not for you, so of course you hate it. People hate the Duval chant too, but again, the more you hate it, the more we love it. I think Wingard is the sort of dude who's going to sacrifice for his team. I think he is the sort of guy who's going to put his body on the line. Where Arden Key, I love him, love his personality, love his intensity. I don't know that he's that guy, right? Arden Key reminds me of some of the guys from that 2017 team, where when things get rough down the stretch, is Arden Key going to have the same intensity when things aren't going well? And I don't know. Maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. But I think Andrew Wingard is not going to be a distraction or a problem if things aren't going well.
Did Calais Campbell get picked up yet?
Nope,
I don't know.
not yet.
Did the Jaguars sign him to like a 1-year deal for nothing?
Depends on the money, I guess. I don't know.
How old is he now? Like 30?
He's gotta
It's
be getting
just
up there.
about
34.
bringing him back.
34?
We need to bring the mayor back. He needs to retire as a Jaguar. Like he has to.
He's the sort of dude that you bring in when you're looking to solidify like the attitude and the culture in your locker room.
I don't be surprised if he doesn't get picked up after the draft. Like
That's
after
exactly what I was about
That's
to
what I
say.
was thinking.
Depends on who the Jags pick up in the draft, whether or not they feel like they want to
I
bring
hope.
him in.
Anyway,
It would be
Any-
pretty cool. I liked Calais Campbell, but again, it depends on the
I
money
wouldn't
and-
mind him on the Texans.
yeah, when we played them, they actually panned to the Ravens sideline, and they were like, everyone welcome the mayor back to Jacksonville, and they put him on the Jumbotron, and everybody was like freaking out, and I was like, I just miss him so much. But anyway, anything else to add for the Jaguars?
No, I think we're in a good spot. We'll see what comes in the draft, and see what happens next year.
39 more days.
Sucks to be that good, huh?
Yeah, I mean, the offseason's boring when your team actually can compete.
Yeah,
So
true that. All
you
right.
don't have to be the king of the offseason when you're the king of the regular season.
Right.
Facts over feelings. All right, moving on. Let's go. Texans have had a lot, so let's unpack Texans. Texans have done a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we had to, right? Because Bill O'Brien. Like Josh said, the king of offseason. I just think they're doing a good job of finally getting out of this shithole that you call Bill O'Brien. We finally got draft picks, finally got a key player re-signed. But yeah, as you can tell, we traded for Shaq Mason from the Buccaneers, which was great. We traded a 6th-round pick for him and got a 7th back. So basically, this swapped a 6th and 7th.
Yeah, we wanted him, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you, right? Stud as a guard. We got a couple guys from the 49ers to help out D'Amico Ryans. You got Jimmy Ward and Hassan Ridgeway. And the greatest thing is we got rid of Jalen Ramsey's little sister, Brendan Cooks. Today. we lose a 5th round for because of Deshaun, but we got him back, trading away his favorite receiver in Brendan Cooks. So.
And where did Brandon Cooks go again?
The Cowgirls for a 5th round this year and a 6th round next year. So,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Which, I mean, everybody's upset. Like BT's comment, he's upset at Nick Casario and the trade and stuff. But yeah, it sucks we didn't trade him last year. He had a trade pretty much finalized, but didn't pull the trigger. And him sitting out kind of hurt the draft stock. we got a fifth instead of getting a third or possibly a fourth. So, but
Well, you
I'm
have
just-
someone
he's
that
glad.
agrees with you right here. Benji G
Yep.
says, "Bye, Brandon Cooks, kick rocks."
Yep.
So,
But,
and then Morocco Taylor entered the chat. Morocco Taylor
Oh,
from the
God.
Titans
with a
Coliseum.
mouthful of mayonnaise saying,
That's
so
"Yo."
mayonnaise.
He
Oh,
said
no.
he wrote. If you read it, it says "yo," but if he read it, it would say "yo" because it's got a mouthful of mayonnaise. You're right. You're right. Anyways,
Maybe he forgot to type the M and the A, you know. Mayo.
Oh, Mayo.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Hey,
I say may, you say yo.
Yeah.
listen, I know like that it may get old to some people, but it will
It's not gonna
never.
get old.
Never get old to
It
me.
Never.
will never get
Never.
old.
It'll
No,
never get old.
the best. All right, so what else, Matt? Come on.
Yeah, we resigned arguably the top 5 left tackle in the league, Laremy Tunzel, to a 3-year, $75 million contract. Make him the highest paid. Make him the highest paid left tackle. You bring in a rookie, you need a guy to protect him, right? I mean, so I think that's huge. They're also working to re-sign Titus Howard, the right tackle, doing the Cooks trade and re-signing Laremy Tunzel. We freed up $27 million. So we're freeing up more money and planning on the future. So
And didn't you want Derek Carr?
I did. I
So-
wanted Derek Carr.
So
yeah.
what are you looking at now? Like, or where do you think? What do you want, and where do you think they're going as
Well,
far as
we-
quarterback?
We got Case Keenum.
Trent Richardson.
So yeah, I think he's a valuable backup, but I think we're gonna go number 2. I think we're going to get BT. You're right. He deserves every penny. But I think we're gonna go. I want to go CJ Stroud, but with the Panthers trading the farm and their mamas, I think they're gonna go CJ Stroud, and we're possibly gonna get Bryce Young. So if anything's better than Davis Mills, right? So
You don't want Trent Richardson?
no. I mean, I did want Anthony Richardson if we got Derek Carr. If we had a veteran quarterback,
My bad.
I would want Anthony Richardson. I would want him to sit and learn a couple years behind a Derek Carr, but we didn't get a veteran.
Yeah, but he can learn behind Case
He
Keenum.
can learn behind Case Keenum.
I love the confidence with which Matt threw out. We got Case Keenum.
I
We got Case Keenum. Like,
I don't know if that.
bro.
No, that wasn't. That was
Yeah.
more.
I don't
No,
think
that was more like.
let's be honest though. Case Keenum never got the. I'm not saying he's a starter, but he took the Vikings to a 11-5 record, a hell of a comeback against the Saints.
And Nick Foles won a Super Bowl for the Eagles.
Yeah.
That's like
These
saying
are-
Ryan Tannehill is a
And-
good
and-
quarterback.
and he just disappeared. He never really got a true shot. But I really think he's a backup. But again,
But to go back on what Josh said, I don't think he was saying with confidence. I think he was like saying it as a question mark to see how we would react. He's like, "We
Case
got
Keenum?
Case Keenum."
I was lurking. I was waiting for an opportunity to pounce on that statement.
he's
I am
He's
Ron
argued-
Burgundy.
he's arguably the best college football player. I mean, he set records, college quarterback, throwing quarterback, and he's a U of H guy. So I'm glad he's back in Houston. Let him retire as a Texan. I'm okay with it.
Sound like the Jaguars when they signed Tim
These are
Tebow.
just the sorts of things you
That's
start to
basically,
say.
that's basically saying she talks about
But Tim
Clemson.
Tebow wasn't a good quarterback. Case Keenum was. So
These are the things you start to say when all you have is the offseason, right?
Right,
Off-season victories
right.
are all you know,
Yeah,
Case
I don't-
Keenum, guys. We got Case Keenum. He's really good.
Yay!
That's a good signing.
We're glad
Yeah.
he's here, right?
right, yeah. I mean, as
No.
a Jaguars fans, y'all understand what I'm going through. so
Listen,
I get it.
remember, okay, so even last season, remember I told you you guys are the new Jaguars. This is literally the Jaguars in 2018, 2019, after they got rid of everybody, all of the drama, all of the this, all of the that, got rid of Doug Marrone, and then it's like, we got Nick Foles? Right?
No, that is
And
not what that
Jalen
was.
Ramsey gets traded. Like it's gonna be okay, and it was
fine. Everything's
not
fine
okay.
here.
It was
It's
not
fine.
okay.
I honestly think the Texans are taking the next step, right? I mean, we could have won a lot of games, but we had poor coaching in Lovie Smith and Pep Hamilton. We were in a lot of one possession games. We lost by 3-6, like I think 10 times is what the count was. So we got a new system. that Kyle Shanahan system is fantastic. It's proven. Got to many Super Bowls, won many Super Bowls. So
Should have got Garoppolo then.
I'm glad. See what the money he was asking for? I'm
D'Amico
so
Ryan's
Wait,
been the
glad.
best
seriously?
pickup that the Texans have got this offseason.
Oh yeah, hands down, easily. Yeah. So,
Yeah, in a couple years, D'Amico Ryans will get fired, and you guys will hire Urban. You're just going the same route exactly. That's
Yeah.
the
yeah,
Jags
we'll make the playoffs and lose, and then we'll fire him, and then you're right. Get Urban Meyer, and then we'll get we'll get Andy Reid or something. Another Super Bowl coach.
Jim Kelly.
Yeah. I don't think he won, so we're good with that one.
All right. Well, anything else to add, Matt?
I think that's about it.
Well, sounds good to me. Let's let the
Yeah.
new guy take a shot at it now. The Titans. The Titans. Derrick Henry is still there. There were rumors early on that he was going to be traded. Clearly, he is not.
Well,
Is there,
they're
is
saying
there
that-
trouble
happened,
in
right?
paradise?
They're saying
Well,
that
no,
the asking price is the second round.
Look, man, I don't think that Derrick Henry gets traded unless something crazy comes up. I mean, I just don't see it. Look, the last GM got fired for signing or for trading away our star player AJ Brown. Everybody knows it. Everybody's been talking about it. We're not going to trade away Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? He is the face of our franchise. We're not going to trade him away.
He's
I
the
don't
po-
think that.
A
He's the
31-year-old running back is the face of your franchise.
He's the pony.
29.
Oh,
29.
Oh.
29, 30.
He's-
And
Face
he
in my
and
30s.
the last 3 seasons he's got over 1,500 yards. So go ahead.
I think.
Poverty franchise.
I think.
Go ahead.
Listen,
Trash.
Mike Vrabel, and I've said this, and it irks me to say it, but I'll say it. Mike Vrabel is like one of the best coaches in the NFL.
Thank
So
you.
I think Mike Vrabel is the face of the Titans, and Derrick Henry is the ponytail of the Titans.
yeah. But
Look, I'm not jaded enough to think that if some deal came across that Rand Carthon thought was good enough, that we wouldn't take it. Because
Well-
Derrick Henry is an aging quarterback. He's got $16 million on the cap. I'm not crazy in, like I said, my two-tone blue colored glasses that I don't think that they might actually take that trade. It's just like the Kevin Byard rumors. Look, if a trade comes along that's good enough that Rand Carthon thinks is going to move our team along in the future, then we're going to take it. But I just don't see it.
If I'm the Titans, I get rid of Derrick Henry now and start your rebuild. now.
Especially if you get a second round.
Well, I wonder.
winning
I wonder if
anything.
there's a market for Derrick Henry, though. I wonder
Well,
if people. Have,
Of course,
I
there's
mean,
a market.
If you're the Bills, if
There's
you're the
not
Bills,
really.
the Chiefs,
There is so
you
many
would
teams
think,
right now that could take Derrick Henry and go straight to the
Yeah,
Super
but
Bowl.
what I mean
But-
is, are there teams that are willing to give the Titans what the Titans think Derrick
Want.
Henry is worth?
Derrick
Well, and-
Henry's
That's-
worth a second round pick.
And
I
also,
mean, everybody knows that.
is it worth it to get rid of Derrick Henry when Ryan Tannehill is still your quarterback?
That's my point.
That's
Now,
the
my
problem.
point is that with all these rumors going on around Byard and all this stuff about taking a contract hit, what are we doing with Ryan Tannehill? I mean, yes, he's a good quarterback, but is he worth $24 million a year?
He's okay.
I disagree that he's good.
He's okay.
Yeah, he's okay.
He's not.
That's
good,
what I'm
he's
saying, though.
okay.
He,
Yeah.
he's good enough to get us to the playoffs, but is he going to do anything in the playoffs in the future or in the past? We haven't seen him do anything, so I don't have any trust in him.
I remember very specifically. It wasn't last season. I want to say it was the season before. CBS Sports did like a whichever player of the week, right? And it would be like best pass, best, and it would be like different. So it'd be like quarterback, running back, like most yards, like
Right.
like best route, things like that. And they broke down some of the quarterbacks in the NFL, and it was like best handoff, and it was Ryan Tannehill. And I was
Yeah,
like,
look,
come on.
I'm not going to lie, man. If everybody looks at the stats, at stats wise, he is a great quarterback. Stats wise. If you look at his season with Arthur Smith, I mean, Todd Downing really was the downfall of our team last couple of years.
Yeah.
Everybody
can
knows
already
that.
He he can only call a good game when he's drunk. So yeah.
Everybody who's a real Titans fan knows that Todd Downing Jr. was our problem. Me and another Titans fan went really hardcore on trying to get him fired, and he even went live on Nashville News. No joke. Shout out Tyrekus Jones. But this is the main problem with the Titans. If we can get somebody who can actually call some good plays, we might actually have a team. But I don't think at $24 million, that's the right contract for Ryan Tannehill. And that's my big problem with Ryan Tannehill.
Is there-
I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, you also
Go
don't
ahead,
have a
sir.
wide receiver to throw to.
Right.
Yeah,
Go
well,
ahead,
I
Matt.
mean, yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, but you got Tim Kelly as your OC. It's not eating better.
What? No, I know,
Yeah.
dude. I mean,
Yeah.
I know. I mean, I was really
It's
upset with
terrible.
that call, but
Especially
what am
when
I going to do?
When Eric Bieniemy and Matt Nagy was out there,
Yeah.
proven play callers on the offense side,
You know,
with Tim Kelly is like,
So
You know, like Sam said, she said that Vrabel is the greatest coach in the NFL, and I agree with her. The greatest coach. He gets the
I didn't
most
say one.
out
I
of
didn't say greatest. I said one of.
one
them.
of the greatest.
I give him top 4.
Top 5?
Yeah, I'd say
Top
top
4
5 for sure.
I'll say top 4.
Okay. All right, even top
Yeah.
4. We'll say he gets the greatest out of his players than anybody else. Because he has the crappiest roster and still puts together a good winning team.
well,
But
that's
the problem with Vrabel is that he has an affinity for these people who are not very good at their jobs, like Todd Downing, Craig Ackerman, the defensive line coach Keith Brown. I mean, there's a lot of coaches here that Vrabel has put together that are not very good coaches, and then you go and hire Tim Kelly as an OC. It just goes to show that we're just doing the same thing again. Same old Titans.
But is he making those decisions though, or is that your previous?
I think
idiot
that
GM?
was the
GM.
point.
I mean, that
No.
is the point. Look, Amy Adams already said that he's going to have a big controlling factor. And, I mean, he even had a controlling factor as who's the GM was hired.
Yeah.
That's
So, of
right.
course. I mean, look at the contract Aaron Brewer got. $4 million.
Yeah.
Who else in the NFL is going to pay Aaron Brewer $4 million to pay on their offensive line?
Probably the Colts.
to answer your question, that was a Mike Vrabel move because him and Tim Kelly are really good friends. They were on the defensive side of the ball in Texans. Tim Kelly was a D line coach, and Mike Vrabel was the linebackers coach, and then moved to defensive coordinator. And
Well,
then
that's what I'm saying.
you know.
If there's any downfall to Vrabel's coaching, it's the fact that he keeps his friends
he
too close to home.
he learned from his mentor, Bob McNair or Bill O'Brien. So just don't make him the GM. He'd be all right.
Is his
So-
mentor Bill O'Brien or Belichick?
Bill O'Brien is his mentor. He came from the Texans when he was with the Texans.
Yeah, but he came from the Patriots too.
He never coached with the Patriots.
Well, agreed, but he played with the Patriots
yeah,
for a long
yeah.
The
time.
linebacker coach
Yeah.
for the Patriots?
No, he never coached. He just played with them.
Oh, gotcha.
I'll take that.
I'm looking through sporttrack.com for available quarterbacks right now, just to see who all. And they're showing Tom Brady on here as an available quarterback.
I mean, he is
Never
right.
know. He's never submitted his.
Yeah.
He hasn't. Has he officially
If he
submitted his paperwork?
What if he went to the Titans? I would literally
I hope
flip.
he does.
I would flip over my desk. So tired.
Because his arm's gone noodly. I hope he does go to the Titans.
But
Free win for everyone.
Carson Wentz and Matt Ryan are available.
Look,
right,
if
right, Harish?
my greatest thing would be to just trade Ryan Tannehill for whatever we could possibly get for him, just to get rid of his contract, re-sign Big Jeff, and then go for Josh Dobbs or Malik Willis or whatever. Because next year is our year. We're not doing anything this year. We're not going to win the Super Bowl this year, are we?
Damn, we got John Hall on the show? Like,
John Hall Jr. What?
Look, man, you look at the
Is this
moves he
CIA
made.
sense,
You
or-
look at the moves he made. Arden Key, yeah, he's a great player. You know, Josh wanted to bash on him or whatever, but to be honest, he's a rotational player. To be honest, DeMarcus Walker was one of the main players I wanted us to re-sign, and we didn't, and I was kind of upset about that. But I let it go because we got Arden Key. I mean, 7 sacks on a rotation, or 6 sacks, excuse me, on a rotational player is a great player. Then we got Aziz Al-Shari, Daniel Brunskill, Andre Dillard. So we kind of fill out our offensive line. I really wanted Corey Levin. Kind of upset that we didn't re-sign him, but whatever. You know, if Aaron Brewer is Mike Vrabel's guy, then that's his guy. The only other thing I can really say is that I'm upset about the NWI re-signing because it feels like we're just the same old Titans again.
Same old Titans.
Arden Key only had
Maybe
4.5.
Listen,
Yeah, John Hall.
you may be new on the show, but I think we have our tagline for the season for the Titans. It's the same old Titans.
Same old
Same
time.
old-
I mean, come on.
Same
What
old
else?
Titans.
What else can you say? You know, we got a new GM, but it's the same old, man.
Mayo eating,
I
Kevin kissing
think-
Titans. Same old.
You're
Titans.
losers till you aren't.
I think the Titans are setting up for a rebuild. Honestly, I think they are.
I
mean,
would
they
I
don't
would
have a
love to
choice.
think that. I
They
would
can't.
love to think that, but the fact that these signings are like these I mean, Rand Carthon's really doing the best he can with the mess he's got, to be honest. But I don't know. I'm frustrated.
I think some of these signings, I think, prove that they are gearing up for a rebuild. I think they're tanking without tanking. Right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Unintentional tanking.
I don't know
Well,
if
it's-
it's,
Well, it's kinda like-
tanking.
it's under the
it's-
radar tanking.
It's like dry.
Exactly. It's looking like you're not tanking, but you really are tanking.
And I think you guys are going to screw it up because Mike Vrabel's not the sort of person who's going to allow his team
Yeah,
to like go like 3 and
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
You guys are going to end up like 8 and 9 in the middle and not be able to trade up to get
Yes.
like Caleb Williams
Or-
or anybody coming
Yes,
next year.
Or-
Rand Carthon is like threading the needle in between like what he can get away with of pleasing Vrabel and still getting a good draft pick
Yeah.
or draft area for next year when we have the $100 million cap that we're gonna have.
Sabre
What's-
reminds me of a guy who would, you have one game left, you're about to get the number 1 pick, and you're playing a division rival, and you win the game. I
You win
think
the
that
game.
would happen. Yeah,
So
You
the
are
Jet-
exactly right.
So the Jets and
the Texans
huh?
the
and the
Texans.
Texans.
Well, the Jets when we were going for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, and us
They
this
won.
year, we,
Yeah.
we went for 2. We
Yeah.
we could have lost with the field goal. But
Oh,
we
he
went
did.
for 2.
No, he did that on purpose. He wanted.
Oh, that was
the streak.
100% Lovey
Yeah, he-
Smith.
Yeah,
No,
he
I know,
wanted.
Absolutely.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
He-
I
I
know.
believe
anyway.
that.
Yeah.
That's
He knew
what I'm
he was
saying.
gone no matter what.
Mike Vrabel's gonna pull a Lovey Smith and say, "Fuck you guys."
Yeah, I
I don't
believe
think it's
that.
that. I think
believe
Mike
that.
Vrabel just has integrity, right? He's going to Mike
Which is
Vrabel.
what you want
His
from a
skill
coach.
as a coach is getting the absolute most out of whatever he has on his roster, and he's going to find a way to motivate that team to like an 8 and 9,
Yep.
7 and 10
Yes.
record, even though they're not very good on paper, and that's just going to foil the plans. And I think like a 7 and 10 record, I think Vrabel's fired. I think he's gone
Yeah.
next year. I think
Well,
Rand
it's
Carthon's going to pull the
yeah,
trigger and bring in his own
Carthon's-
guy. Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
out
and
to get rid
unfortunately-
of him. Yeah.
I think
That would be
unfortunately
stupid
you're
in my
correct.
opinion, but
Yeah.
that would be dumb. But yeah,
Well, yeah.
I don't know.
it
What
would.
how many playoff games has Mike Vrabel won? How many Super Bowls have they been to?
I mean, they went to the AFC Championship 3 years ago.
Mike Vrabel's been given a lot
Yeah,
of leash
and
because
Ryan
he's a former player.
Tannehill choked
Yeah.
because we got 7 sacks in that game.
Yeah,
Our
he also
defense
won-
played
what-
amazing.
What was it? 2 years ago, he won the Coach of the Year. I mean,
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, but
he
you know
is
how
a
this
great
cycle goes.
coach.
Yeah.
A GM gets fired.
oh,
They have a
I know what
current
you're
coach.
saying. I agree with you.
They'll give that coach a season or two before they pull the trigger and bring in a new coach.
Well,
to
that's what I was
prove
going to
that
say. 2 years, if nothing happens, fine. But if you
Yeah.
did it after this year, after everything that's happened,
Yeah.
I
that would
agree.
be stupid. In my
I
head, but-
agree. Because
I think
you
it depends on
can't
how bad the
compare.
season goes. You
Yeah,
don't think
we-
a 3 and 14 season gets Vrabel fired after
Yeah,
this
but
season?
you,
Oh,
But
100%.
you-
I mean, it could, but I don't think that would be smart. I think it would be smart to give him one more year to build
Smart-
his roster. Because
Sure,
I mean,
what-
look at the cap too. They don't have a lot. of
thank
cap.
you.
a lot of
Thank
cap
you,
space. There's
Sam.
not a lot of wiggle room.
Yes.
And I'm defending the Titans right now, and I don't know how I feel about
I
that.
get what
Thank
you're
you.
saying.
And I appreciate that
She's
because
not-
that's exactly what's going on. You can't compare this season with the first season of Rob's
Sam's about to go to the
GM.
fridge. Sam's about
Because
to go
Rob's
fridge and get her
GM
mail out.
spot, he had all these picks and all
Where's the
this
mayonnaise?
cap money, and now Rand
Get the
Carthon's just
spoon.
trying to clean up a mess, dude. He's got a dumpster fire he's trying to clean up.
Well, I don't appreciate Sam defending the Titans because fuck the Titans. But I will say this is what happens when you get GMs. Whether the coach is good or not, throw that out the window.
And to be
Rand's
fair,
going to want his own guy. Right?
He's
And
going to
this
cover
is
his
the
own.
truth.
He's going to CYA. He's going to cover his own
Exactly.
rear,
Yep.
and he's going to bring in.
His
He's
guy.
going to bring in somebody. He's not going to let Mike Vrabel be the reason he gets fired.
Do you
Okay,
think this is where Bellamy finally gets his head coaching spot?
Maybe.
all I'm going to say before we wrap up the segment is I am not defending the Titans. I'm defending Mike Vrabel. I enjoy seeing Mike Vrabel angry. Do you have anything else to add before we move on? One final
To the build
comment.
up to fire the division.
The only thing I want to say is we better re-sign Big Jeff.
Resign Big Jeff.
That is the
same old Titans.
that is the big
That is the
thing.
most Titan sentence that's ever been uttered on this show.
We gotta
Resign
re-sign
Big
We
Big
gotta
Jeff.
Jeff.
resign Big Jeff.
We gotta re-sign Big
Bring him
Jeff.
back.
I mean, come on, man. He's played amazingly. It's like it's like Hainsworth all over again. If we don't re-sign Big Jeff, we go right back to mediocre defense. Then we're trying to make up for it with our offense.
And then you got to get
And-
little Jeff.
Is he, well, what
Well,
about
you gotta go
medium-sized
medium
Jeff
first.
or average
Yeah, you gotta
average
go
Jeff?
medium Right?
Uh,
We're at extra live right
Is Jeffrey
now.
Simmons? Is he a
Jeffrey
free agent?
Simmons from Mississippi State. Yes, sir. That would be the one I'm talking
Is he a
about.
free agent this
the
season or
defensive
next?
tackle. No, next season he'll be a yeah. I just
They're
want
trying to re-sign
to
him, I think.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Moving on. We got to move on. Moving on to the Colts, and I just want to say something before. On Thursday night, as I had a rough day, I said, "How can this day get any worse?" And then I looked at my phone, and the Colts had signed Gardner Minshew,
Oh, God.
and a little bit of me died because, I like seeing him on my team. Not that I think he needs to be on my team. I just like seeing him on my team. I don't know. Maybe they could have hired him to be like ball boy or something. Or,
The Gatorade guy? No.
The water boy.
or
Yeah.
like, the Dailies kickoff kid? Like the kid that runs out in the middle of the field like after the first kickoff? Could they have made Gardner Minshew the official Dailies kickoff kid of the game?
They have a kid that does that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a contest. You can enter your kid, and they get to the first kickoff of the game. They get to run and take the tee off the field.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty cool.
what's up.
Yeah,
that's pretty
so
good.
Gardner Minshew could have done that every game, but now he's with the Colts. Okay, Harish, go on.
I just don't know what's going. I just don't know what's happening.
I'm just really sad that you guys signed Gardner Minshew.
No, I mean Gardner Minshew's cool. I don't have anything. I don't have anything against Gardner Minshew. Like I guess I'll come in and mentor the young guy, whoever that may be, because our GM doesn't have any balls for shit.
So,
Yeah,
a comment from Robbie Tarter. He said the big question is Minshew going to be the starter in Indy.
Robbie, you can go be the starter at Indy. I don't really care. Hey, but don't worry. We spent like $5 million on a kicker. That's awesome.
Are they going after Levin? That's what I want to know.
I don't really give a shit, honestly. They had one job.
Get
They
your jorts ready, Todd Clary.
Yeah, Chris Ballard had one job, right? Sell the farm, go get the number one pick. You're not going to be here for much longer if you don't win, so it doesn't really matter. But I guess we're going through a second rebuild with Chris Ballard. He's got his own core coach this time.
So I got a question for you, Hurish. You obviously see what the Panthers traded. Do you agree of giving Michael Pittman Jr. up for the first pick?
It's
Ooh,
it's
good
hard,
question.
but here's the thing. I don't fall in love with this team anymore because the team sucks. So do you give up Michael Pittman Jr.? I don't think Michael Pittman Jr. is a number 1 receiver, if that's the question. So you're essentially giving up a number 2 receiver instead of a number 1 receiver, right? I guess. I mean, here the ultimate thing is Chris Ballard. If he was truly rebuilding, you really go rebuild. You go all out, and you do what you can to get your quarterback. And
Would you really give up all those first-round picks?
Hell yeah. Here's the thing. To me, if I'm Chris Ballard, it doesn't matter what happens if I leave. Like, to me, it's all about my job, and if my goal is to secure the future, to secure a young quarterback after 9 years, then who gives a shit?
But you'd rather do that
Wait,
than
has
go
it
get a
been that
proven
long
quarterback
since Andrew
with
Luck
Lamar?
retired?
Andrew Luck retired like 5 years ago.
Okay.
Chris Ballard's been the GM now his 7th season.
Yeah.
He's basically getting 2 free years to be dog shit. So basically at 9 years, he would have still never won the division, have 1 playoff victory, and probably the worst division in the NFL. And probably and 5 of those 9 years had the best roster. Chris Ballard is starting to really piss me off.
Finally.
I couldn't tell.
This is the 5th season of AFC South Fan Battle,
I've tried.
and Harish is finally mad at Chris Ballard.
I'm so done with Chris Ballard, like, dude.
Finally.
Yeah, and then there's the Colts fans like, oh, be patient, dude. It's been 6 years. Well, how much more?
Have you guys even hung a banner in the last 6 years?
Yeah, 6 years as GM. That's the banner I'm about to go hang right now.
6 years of mediocrity.
6 years of nothing.
We got a comment. Harish, would you rather have AR or Levis?
I'd rather trade down.
Oh.
I don't want any of those. If I don't get a Young or a Stroud, trade down and tank it.
Well, you're not getting either one of those.
Yeah, I don't want either of these guys. Go suck for Caleb. That's what they should do, because they probably will do that anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm so done with this regime. If we go like 3-14 or something, I would be so happy. Get Chris Ballard out of there. Start from scratch. Get out of there. I'm so sick of this team.
Yeah, you definitely don't want Stroud anyway.
Holy moly, I thought the Titans were ready for tanking, man. Holy Moses.
Todd Clary says Harish is finally echoing what this group has been saying for years. Welcome to the team, sir.
Thank you, Todd. I'm glad to be accepted by your team. It's probably better than the team that I root for anyway.
We need, what would be content gold? Like, we need to go back to the years and get a video clips of Harish like, Frank Ballard or Frank Wright, Chris Ballard.
Man,
Oh
what a great
man,
combination. I remember
they
that
fucking
shit.
suck.
Yeah.
I hate the Colts. That'd be great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my Frank
Then and
Wright
now.
team changed 2 years ago. Yeah.
Then and now.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
What a
no, there was a decline because I remember you'd be like, "Oh, Mr. Potato Head." Remember?
That was 2 seasons ago. Yeah, that whole
Yeah.
the whole Carson Wentz season, like they look, Frank Reich basically threw everybody under the bus and then got fired. Chris Ballard is throwing everybody under the bus and he's about to get fired. Like what an absolute shit. And then Frank Reich, he gets a new GM. The first thing that happened, not even 3 weeks later, his new GM sells the farm and gets the number 1 pick. Imagine that. And now Frank Reich is probably going to be like, man, what a great coach. Well, yeah, because he's got the young quarterback he's only been asking for.
And he plays, and he also coaches in a division that sucks, the NFC South,
Wow.
and possibly make the playoffs because of the division.
How
he
bad the
sucks.
division is. Imagine
Yeah.
that. That's
Right.
basically what he could have done here 5
Exactly
years ago.
right. Or
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it's cool. They get cool draft picks. The free agency hasn't changed. Like, we got Sam Ibukam, who I'm actually pretty excited about. I think he could do well. But it doesn't matter because we still have no starting right tackle. We still have no cornerback. We still have no quarterback. We don't have like half of the goddamn team.
trying to trade Ryan Kelly.
Yeah, they should have already traded him. They had to trade him by the end of today or release him by the end of today. And we still have that fucknut on our team. That dude's trash. He's been trash for 2 years. Kenny Moore's still walking around with the paycheck somehow. Like, man, I don't know. I don't know. For the first time in a while, I don't know what this team is doing. I thought I had an idea, but I have no idea what's going on.
For the first time in a while.
I would say like 3 years ago, I was like, okay, You do this, you might get a young quarterback. Since Carson Wentz, like I've had no idea what's going on here. Like the Matt Ryan thing was a debacle. Even the end of the Carson Wentz thing was a debacle. You know, you have head coaches throwing your offensive coordinators under the bus. It's like, yeah, we'll fire the offensive coordinator, but he doesn't call any plays. Yeah, no, but we'll fire him anyway. Like,
How much that you think is Jim Irsay's wackadoo style of managing the organization? Like some of the chaos and the lack of direction.
I think some of it is Jim Irsay really. This is what I think about Jim Irsay. Jim Irsay hires his guy, and then he gives them a really loose leash. As soon as he sees it reeling, he steps in, and then just things go to chaos. And I think he's at the stepping. He's leaning in, right? And now things are just seem like chaos because he's like, well, I don't like what you've been doing here. Like 2 horrible quarterback decisions. Now Jim Irsay's like actually like making decisions versus the GM. I think there's that. And I think there's actually a lot of internal conflict between Ballard and Irsay.
Yeah, that's what it feels. I mean, you know, I'm not a Colts fan, so sort of outside looking in, that's what I wondered too. Like, how much of this is like Ballard trying to please Irsay with some of these decisions and
no.
he really wants to make? And
Yeah, I think it's the exact opposite. I think it's more Ballard gives 2 fucks what Irsay says, and he's just trying to do things. And Irsay is basically like, well, this is my team, so I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. Let's go get Jeff Saturday.
Yeah. Oh man.
So yeah,
That was the best.
Yeah, this is a fucking shit show at this point, and I'm not here for it.
Ballard is under contract through the 2026 season.
Oh, perfect! It's awesome. 10 years of not doing a goddamn thing. I'm so excited.
And that's through the 2026 season. So 2027.
Fantastic. So it'll minimally, maybe 2031, we might become relevant. Again.
Yeah.
I love it because this is my competition.
yeah, I'm here for it. I like it. They should keep him forever.
Wait, you're
doing a great job.
competition. Are you trying to win the competition to shit because it's really hard right now?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
We're like
Yeah.
trying to see who the best, the smartest kid on the short bus is.
Hey, Josh, can you relate?
Yeah.
No, I mean, you know, it's hard to relate to these poverty franchises, Sam. You know, it's I have empathy, but I can't. You know, I just can't.
Yeah, this guy's got swimming pools in his freaking stadium, so he don't know.
At least they actually win. Must be nice. At least they've won it. You know what? At least all you fuckers have won the division.
I mean, I feel like the Jaguars could, you know, cut the Colts a bone and send them Beathard. You know?
when
And
was the last
they'll
time
get
the
Beathard
Colts-
and we can get Minshew back.
Yeah, we'll trade you Beathard for Minshew.
When's the
You
last time
want
y'all?
Minshew back?
When's the last time the Colts
just
won the
fun.
division? In 2014?
2013. The year we went to the AFC title game. 2013. Yeah.
Damn.
10 years ago. It's our 10-year anniversary. Let me go to the banner real quick.
We need to figure out how to do
whip out
a.
your sewing machine.
We need to figure out how to do a live show from the
I'll put it right there.
Colts at the Jags this year when we beat you guys again.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, we'll put that one there too. I'll actually get an ongoing counter for the show.
That'll be great. Well, if nobody else has anything to add, Harish, do you have anything else to add to the Colts?
Fire this Ballard.
Todd Clary says cocaine is in quotes, cocaine is a hell of a drug. And
Charlie
that's supposed to be
Murphy.
a quote from Jim Irsay.
Charlie Murphy.
That is facts.
All right. Well, let's go round table. Tell us where to find you. We'll start Josh Allen.
Oh yes, one more thing real quick. Shaquille Griffin's gone for my team. Good riddance to bad rubbish. You can find me on Twitter at Josh Gives Up.
Matt.
You can find me on Twitter, A1Day1 Texans. On Wednesday night, you can find me on the Fan Battle Sports Network. Texans Fan Battle, 8:30. So check it out.
Central, 8:30 Central.
Neutral, yeah. I forget y'all are in the future.
Maximus, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, Maximus Titan Fan.
And Harish.
You can find me at Fire Chris Ballard. Just kidding. At the Uncle Gandhi everywhere.
And you can find me here. We'll be live again Sunday night for probably a quick episode. Just to recap any moves that happened throughout this week. You can find me here Sunday nights during the off season at 9:30 Eastern. And during the regular season, we are live Monday nights at 9:30 Eastern. And of course on Twitter and Instagram at Sammy Football with an I. We thank you guys so much.
Hey,
for
hold on
tuning-
before you leave. Don't forget we got exciting news.
Oh, yes, the best. So we officially launched our website. It's www.fanbattlesports.com. There you can find all of our podcasts. If you want to launch a podcast on the network, there's a place to do an inquiry. There's cast bios. And then, just take a look around.
And also, if you know how to spell and want to be a writer, we're looking for writers to cover the teams and the NFL. So
You don't even have to know how to spell.
Right,
I have a
right.
Grammarly account.
yeah.
I'll take your content, put it into Grammarly, and make it sound good.
But yeah, make sure you check us out there. And of course, follow us on Twitter. It's Fan Battle Sports on Twitter and on Facebook. You can also find this podcast. We have the private group. It's AFC South Fan Battle. We have the AFC South Fan Battle podcast page. And then on Twitter at AFCSFB. We thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week at 9:30.
Sam loves Jalen Ramsey.
like
No, I don't. No, I don't.